Imagine sitting on your couch, ready for movie night. The lights are low, popcorn in hand, and then your TV speakers ruin the mood with flat, hollow sound. Yeah, we've all been there. But here's the good news. You don't need to spend $1,000 to get that cinematic Dolby Atmos experience in your living room. Today, we're counting down the 7 best Dolby Atmos soundbars under $500, and by the end of this video, you'll know exactly which one will transform your setup without emptying your wallet. So stick with me, because I promise each of these has something unique that might make it perfect for you. Let's jump straight in. Kicking things off is the Vizio 5.1 Soundbar SE, and honestly, this one punches way above its price tag. You're looking at a true 5.1 system, a soundbar, 2 surround speakers, and a wireless subwoofer all working together. For a budget system, that's impressive. Dialogue comes through clearly thanks to the dedicated center channel, and when you're watching a Dolby Atmos or DTS:X movie, those satellite speakers do a surprisingly good job of wrapping you in sound. Explosions and action flicks have enough punch to keep you glued to the screen, though the bass doesn't quite dive as deep as you might want in a bigger room. What makes this one appealing is how loud and dynamic it can get without sounding compressed. You can crank it during a Marvel movie marathon, and it won't fall apart. On the flip side, there are trade-offs. It doesn't ship with its own remote, so you'll be relying on the Vizio app or your TV remote, and build quality isn't exactly premium. It feels lightweight. But for a soundbar system that can actually make your living room feel like a theater, this is a steal under $500. Next up, the Samsung HWS50B, and this one is for people who want simplicity without sacrificing clarity. Unlike the Vizio, it's an all-in-one bar, no subwoofer or satellites. Everything you need is built right into its compact frame. Now, you might think no sub means weak sound, but here's where Samsung pulls a trick. It uses Dolby Digital 5.1 and DTS Virtual X to create a surprisingly wide soundstage. Plus, Samsung's Q Symphony feature means if you've got a compatible Samsung TV, the TV speakers and the bar sync together, making the sound feel much bigger than it actually is. The real star here is dialogue clarity. With a dedicated center channel, voices come through crisp and clear, even during chaotic battle scenes or noisy sports broadcasts. Setup is a breeze, and pairing it with Bluetooth devices takes seconds. But let's be real, it's not for bass lovers. If you want couch-shaking rumbles, this won't deliver. Volume could also be higher, and the remote isn't the most user-friendly. Still, for apartments, bedrooms, or smaller living rooms, this is a very tidy package that just works. If you're chasing full cinematic immersion on a budget, the Ultimia Skywave F40 is your guy. This isn't just a bar. It's a 5.1.2 setup with up-firing speakers and wireless rears. You get actual height channels, so raindrops feel like they're falling from above, and helicopters really sound like they're circling overhead. One of its biggest strengths is customization. With the Ultimia app, you can tweak a 10-band EQ, adjust speaker levels, and even save presets. Whether you're watching an intense blockbuster or sneaking in late-night gaming, you can tune it exactly how you like. Performance-wise, it's a beast for movies and gaming. Directional audio cues are sharp, giving you an edge in competitive titles. The subwoofer packs a punch, though it isn't the most refined for music. Sometimes the bass feels uneven. And while setup is straightforward, it does take more effort than a simple plug-and-play bar. The downside? It's best for medium-sized rooms. Put it in a huge open space, and you'll wish for more raw power. But for under $500, you're getting true 3D surround that most soundbars at this price can only fake. That's hard to beat. Now let's talk about the Polk Audio Signa S3, a soundbar that's all about value and versatility. This is a 2.1 system with a dedicated subwoofer, and while it doesn't have Dolby Atmos, it does come with built-in Chromecast and Wi-Fi streaming, which is rare at this price. Polk's voice adjust technology really shines here, letting you raise or lower dialogue levels without messing up the rest of the mix. That's a lifesaver when you're watching a show where the soundtrack drowns out the voices. The bass is satisfying, enough to make movies engaging and music fun, though it sometimes overshadows mids and highs if you push it too far. Connectivity is another plus. You get HDMI ARC, optical, AUX, Bluetooth, and Wi-Fi. That means whether you're casting Spotify, connecting a turntable, or just watching Netflix, it's covered. The limitations? No Atmos, no fancy surround effects. This is a straight-up bar and sub combo. But here's the thing. If you're looking for a simple, reliable upgrade that sounds way better than your TV speakers and gives you smart streaming built in, the S3 is a winner. Sliding into the number 3 spot is the Vizio Elevate SE, and this one feels futuristic. Picture this. You hit play on an Atmos movie and the soundbar's side speakers physically rotate upward to bounce sound off your ceiling. It's not just a gimmick, it's an experience. This is a 5.1.2 setup, so you're getting a bar, a subwoofer, and satellite speakers, all tuned to create an immersive bubble of sound. The mid-range is warm and natural, voices stay clear, and the bass has enough muscle to make action movies satisfying. Plus, the included app gives you control over bass, treble, height levels, and even LED lighting on the bar. Now, it's not perfect. The height channels don't always deliver a convincing overhead effect, and the lack of a physical remote means you'll need to rely on the app or your TV remote. Still, the rotating drivers are a showpiece, and the fact that it supports both Dolby Atmos and DTS:X makes it more versatile than most competitors in this price bracket. If you want something that looks as cool as it sounds, this is the one to impress your friends. Runner-up goes to the Polk Audio Signa S4, a 3.1.2 setup that hits a sweet spot between simplicity and immersive sound. Unlike the S3, this one does support Dolby Atmos, and it uses up-firing speakers to pull off overhead effects. Polk's voice adjust tech returns here, and with the dedicated center channel, voices come through crystal clear, perfect if you're tired of turning subtitles on. The sound profile has that slightly V-shaped curve, boosted bass and bright treble, which makes action movies pop and music feel lively. The subwoofer delivers satisfying low end, though hardcore bass heads might want a little more rumble. And while surround sound is decent, it down-mixes some content, so it doesn't feel as enveloping as multi-speaker systems. Connectivity is straightforward: HDMI EARC, optical, AUX, and USB, plus Bluetooth for streaming. No Wi-Fi, no Chromecast, but the setup is quick, and the remote gives you access to EQ presets like music and movie, along with night mode for late-night binging. If you want Dolby Atmos without overcomplicating your setup, the S4 delivers big performance at a price that feels almost too good to be true. And here we are, number 1 on the list, the Sonos Beam Gen 2. Compact, sleek, and way more powerful than it looks, this soundbar proves that size isn't everything. What makes the Beam Gen 2 special is how it balances everything. Dialogue is razor sharp, thanks to the dedicated center channel. Music has clarity and detail, and movies open up into a wide soundstage. Add in Dolby Atmos support, and suddenly, even a small living room feels like it grew a second floor. The build quality is premium, setup is ridiculously easy, and the Sonos ecosystem is one of the best in the game. Using the Sonos S2 app, you can fine-tune the sound with TruePlay room correction, if you're on iOS, stream from almost any music service, and even control it with Alexa or Google Assistant. Now, it's not perfect. Out of the box, bass is limited. You'll miss that rumble during a car chase, and it doesn't get as loud as some of the bigger setups. Plus, Android users miss out on TruePlay. But the upside is scalability. You can start with just the Beam and later add a Sonos sub or rear speakers if you want a full surround setup. For under $500, this is the most balanced, versatile, and polished Dolby Atmos soundbar you can buy. It's compact, it's smart, and it sounds phenomenal. That's why it tops our list. So there you have it. 7 incredible Dolby Atmos soundbars under $500. From budget-friendly setups that deliver true 5.1 surround to sleek all-in-one bars that prioritize simplicity, there's something here for every living room, every budget, and every kind of listener. Now the big question is, which one's going to be your next upgrade? Drop your pick down in the comments, and let's see which soundbar wins the popularity contest. Don't forget to hit that like button if this helped you, subscribe for more honest tech breakdowns, and I'll see you in the next one.